All right, so no Montaigne, no Glass from E2. That means this is exactly what you were suggesting, which was a very fast, very gunfight-oriented lineup where they're going to try and win their engagements. Thatcher is the least aggro on that entire lineup. There's other than that, you've got Buck with his crazy DPS. You've got Hibana with her 3-speed crazy DPS. Ash the same, and Capital 3-speed again.
You've basically have 3 speeds and 2 speeds.
Right.
So they're out for a gunfight.
Yeah. And then from Vitality, there's pretty standard lineup here. Nothing really very surprising. I like that camera Revan just put down in the lobby. That might take a while to get spotted, hopefully. And it looks like they're going to be trying to hold upstairs based upon the fact that they're reinforcing to the tower there.
Yeah, now that holding on to kitchen is something that we've only seen done a few times. Most of the time it's reinforcing the supply room wall there facing the meeting hall and staying inside a meeting hall.
But this is going to be what I was talking about earlier, I think, where they have a heavy roamer strategy upstairs, try and deny, everybody's upstairs right now, every single one of the defenders. Hopefully one of them will rotate back to hold construction, but we'll see what happens all in due time. They're going to have one player playing in tower, one player playing in kitchen, one probably in meeting hall, and then maybe one in armory / kids area.
Oh, and there goes the bang from, looks like Kazek. Saw the window open up inside a red tower and was just able to take down
Karzeka.
Karzeka?
Yeah, no, he got an excellent pick onto that Rook. That's really unfortunate right off the bat for Vitality. A battery charge up. Wow, they're really committing to this upstairs hold. They're playing this extremely hard, Vitality.
I mean, this is one of those things where if E2 was successfully droning out an entry point from red tower or from the basement, they'd easily have access downstairs, it appears.
Right. And wow, 2 minutes on the clock, only 1 minute gone, and Flippy's just got another pick onto Panics. That's 2 off the board for Vitality early on, and they're looking to get a third with Rise.
Yeah, so here comes an engagement here between Flippy and Rise. They know he's in there, they saw him, they're moving him around, trying to get an angle on him. Flippy now realizing that his shotgun will not go through the shelving unit there to get a better angle. But he is calling for reinforcements here. Looks like Shockwaves is pushing down the main hall top side. But Rise does have an escape route. He's got the drop hatch opened up. He will be spotted out by the drone, and that's going to allow Shockwave to move in forward. However, the shots from the window from Kazeka will get Rise. However, Shockwave gets Flippy down.
Looks like Flippy jumped the gun a little bit there. Thatcher was prone in the hallway. The only way I can imagine is he had to run in front of Thatcher's gun there.
Ooh, Camo will go down by Reven, but he'll be injured as he drops through the hatch trying to get back to cover. Turns it into a 3-on-1 at the moment as Enemy at the top of the stairs shoots one shotgun, gives away his position.
Oh no. Enemy missing 2 shots onto those players.
And here it comes. Karzeka needs to move around. Looks like his teammate, he might be going to pick him back up, so therefore we will have a 2-on-3 engagement with 60 seconds left. We've got Razor, who's in meeting hall. He's getting one last look with his drone, going to pop on down and possibly push in as Ash from the back way, as you've got the remaining 2 attackers, Thatcher and Capital, pushing down forward. So Razor waiting for enemies to move on forward. Now Reven here inside of the supply room, right outside of the laundry door. He hears the smoke's going down. Looks like the shotgun from Enemy will take down Razor from behind. The last 2 attackers, they're going down for the plant now. And there it goes. You're going to see Capital here at the top of the drop hatch. This is Karzeka looking right towards Enemy, and he's trying to prone his way through, waiting for it. And now you're looking at Thatcher over here. So Thatcher, he's now coming around. He's up top as well. Reven might come around for the flank. He's inside a meeting hall, turning the corner. But we've got right there Thatcher. Shockwave sees him, but will not get the final shots down. He will be injured, or sorry, will be down almost to an injured state and finally finished off by Karzeka. And there's Shockwave getting the last shot down onto Enemy, and it will go round 1 to E2 Esports.
Wow, that was a really interesting round, very chaotic. A lot of hard hold by the defenders upstairs ended up costing them 3 players early on, and then only 2 players left to anchor. And one of them only barely made it back to the site with getting downed as he was falling down, or falling down the drop, that is. And so now we have, okay, Vitality playing the aggressive game and E2 answering with, okay, you're going to be aggressive, we're going to be just as much. We're just going to waltz into the building and we're going to win our engagements. And that, yeah, it gave them the advantage early on. Now, are we going to see from E2, are they going to do something similar? And in fact, they're going to be defending upstairs first, which is something we've been seeing a lot more of lately. The meta has evolved to, I think more people prefer to defend upstairs because you have a lot more options. As a defensive team, you can play a little bit more dynamically. Instead of being forced to play hard roam or hard hold, you can play it a little bit more fluid. And I have to say, I think this is the right decision by E2. And it really comes down to how Vitality is going to take this. Are they going to try and push into Armory? Are they going to try and push into Master? We'll see.
Yeah, one of the things that surprised me, and maybe I just misunderstood Team Vitality's mentality during the interview, is they said they were strat heavy. They were cohesive, or they were concise. They knew what they wanted to do and how to get it done. I took that as being conservative.
Right,
but you can still be very aggressive and still have a very solid strat, and that looks like what they tried to accomplish, but it just didn't work out for them on round 1.
I think they're probably playing. I think maybe that strat would have worked against a different team, but when you're talking about E2, who is very clearly, as we've seen here, a very aggressive team, just pure aggression. I don't think it's the right decision to try and have a hard roamer strat on basement. I think in that case, it would be the right decision to be a little bit more conservative. And I'm sure Vitality probably has a strat to hard hold in the basement.
And we've got Kama here who's holding a soft angle, waiting for Reven to try to push out. But he's been droned, and that means Blackbeard is just going to sit here as well until he gets his team to come around.
And there we have it. They're going to thermite open the armory wall to give their Blackbeard visibility into the hallway so that they have more room to work with. Whoa, and a pick from Blackbeard onto Kama is going to give them the man advantage.
Yeah, so that was the peek he was waiting for. He himself held the soft angle and forced Jaeger to make that original peek, and unfortunately that was going to be the end of his life there. But Reven still inside of Armory looking for the cam, and we'll pick it off for the time being. Now, the remaining defenders appear to be all on site, I want to say, except for Castle. Castle might be the only one who's away. Trying to take a look.
He's actually all the way in meeting.
He is in meeting hall. It looks like Panix is going to drone him out and come in from the hole that was made previously. Comes around for the pre-fire, but he's already managed to get off of the stage. And there he is, spots him, and Razor will go down by Panix. What a good adjustment there by the Sledge. Now Rise is going to pick off Shockwave with the 5.52 or 5.56, apologies, from Thermite. So right now it's a 5-on-2. You still have Doc and Smoke alive. Smoke's going to toss out one more gas grenade, trying to stop Rise from pushing into the middle dorms there as the wall has been opened up. And Doc is going to sit right inside of the bedroom on top of A. You've got Panix right outside of the meeting hall window. Right now this is that middle dorms window. On the other side, waiting to throw a nade, and he thinks that there might be someone in the close corner. Fortunately for E2, there is not. But Panix is now going to move in forward here along with Rise. They're about to collapse on the remaining defenders. You've got one inside of A. He's going to get taken down. Olem's taken down Kazark. And you've got Flippy. Last man alive. He's going to go for the peek. Gets rid of Blackbeard's shield and his head. Moves in with a shotgun, but Olem's is there to take him down for the count.
So what we saw from Vitality there on that particular attack was a little bit different than what we were seeing from E2. It was, okay, yes, they were, you could say they were aggressive, but not really. All it really came down to was they established themselves in positions to win their engagements by simply waiting. And they did just that. They waited. E2 walked into their crosshairs and ended up losing. The only aggressive push they really had was there at the end, and the Sledge killing the castle in meeting hall. Other than that, it was pretty much just, let's hold an angle, let's wait for them to peek us, and they did just that. And gave them such a man advantage early on.
But that wasn't even really, the Sledge kill in meeting hall wasn't even really an aggressive one. It was just a well-droned out, well-informed kill.
It was the most aggressive. But they clearly, Vitality know what they're dealing with here with E2, and that they just need to play a little bit safe, just wait it out, and E2 will walk into their crosshairs. And it's working for them right now.
All right, and so it is round number 3, 1 win apiece for each of the teams, and we're going to go upstairs to where Vitality, they didn't win downstairs, but they're deciding let's go with our top floor hold instead.
I think this is the right decision. Typically when you lose a bomb site, sometimes what a team will try to do is they'll try to bash their head against that bomb site until they get the win. But it's very calculated by Vitality here that they're going, okay, no, we lost that. Our strat did not work, our holding upstairs did not work, so instead of trying to mix it up and go there again, what we're going to do is we're just going to see what happens on upstairs. Maybe we can make this hold successfully.
Yep, and so Kazarka is going to be back here looking at Red Tower. Now, previously, this is actually where he had died. No, I'm sorry, no, he had gotten the kill up here last time. Right on to, I want to say it was
a Rook, I think.
It was Rook. But we don't have a rook this time to see
Right.
who it was.
There's no rook, so a very speedy lineup coming from Vitality, all 2 speeds and 3 speeds. No rook, no dock, no echo for that matter, no hard anchors, and it's similar to E2's lineup here. Again, no 3 speeds, or sorry, no 3 armors at all in this entire matchup right now.
So what we just saw there is Flippy's going to be inside of Armory, and Capital was on top of the roof, trying to make sure that no one was going to rush him as he drones out from Armory. But we do have Rise, who's inside of Red Tower stairs. He's going to navigate all the way down and try to push on a flank, but he's got Castle there trying to help him out too. Now Panix is going to be inside a meeting hall making sure, but I want to say what we're looking at here is Panix and the, I'm going to say, was it the Jaeger in Red Tower, Rise. Right now, they're just trying to work together to be a distraction. They're nowhere near the bomb site.
Waste as much time as possible, and they're doing just that. E2 is, they're centered around big window here, and they are making their way into Master here. This is the push that we're looking for.
Yep. And here is Karzeka getting down and Rise for the count. That's the Jaeger that was in back tower. So again, this is wasting more time from by Team Vitality against E2, and they've got 60 seconds left. Looks like they're going to be doing a push from the big window potentially.
Vitality still has full control underneath with only a minute left. They can C4 anyone who just tries to plant in the site, and there's no one on E2 to try and stop that besides Shockwave outside front door, and he's not playing very aggressively. Whoa!
Right underneath. Oh, it's going to be Enemy moving forward with a shotgun to get Kama down. A very good push to get down the Hibana. Now Flippy's going to expose himself inside of the hallway. More bullets will force him into the master bedroom. And now over into middle dorms where we just saw Smoke sitting. That was going to be Enemy. Enemy Kid takes a couple bullets into the shoulder. It's going to force him to crouch and feel a little bit pinched in. There goes the shots down, and Flippy will come out as the victor of that engagement. Reven still underneath, but it looks like the plant might go down. Ash is going to push into the big window of A, be taken out by Panix. A 3-on-3 at the moment. We still have our Buck, who's trying to get the plant down. It looks like he's still doing it. Kazeka's going to get Panix as LMs is going to get Flippy, and Kazeka will go down by Reven. Shockwave, though, picking up LMs. A 1-on-1 now. Diffuser did not get planted. It looks as though Buck might have pulled up. So Shockwave, last one alive with 1 second left. He's going in for the plant. Reven's going to move forward, and there's going to be the end, and Team Vitality takes round number 3.
That was extremely close. Team Vitality just barely stopping that plant. It looked as though Buck stopped his plant in the middle of it, getting a little antsy, and as such, didn't get it down in the end. Now we're looking at 2-1 in favor of Vitality. The right decision to defend upstairs instead of trying to force out that downstairs hold.
So in that instance, with Buck trying to get that diffuser planted, as someone who's probably been in that position, what are you expecting to hear from your teammate? Or your teammates in general, to make sure that you're still in the clear when you hear gunshots?
I'm expecting to hear that we have Armory wall open, there's a Blackbeard sitting in there, he's telling me, okay, hallway's clear, I got your hallway, and then I'm expecting somebody to be behind me in closet to tell me that he's got my stairs, my close stairs from kitchen.
Gotcha.
Or, which they did not do, I'm expecting my team to have taken underneath so that we've established control on anything that's not the actual bomb site. Not sure what's going on right now, guys. That is really weird. But it looks like it stopped now. So anyway, I expect to see or hear from my team that we've got somebody in Armory. He's holding my hallway. We've taken underneath, and we've established dominance on the roamers. And I'm free to plant because nobody's going to come up from my stairs, and nobody's going to come through my hallway, so I don't have to worry about anything. That's what I expect from my team. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. E2, they didn't deal with the roamers underneath at all. They sent no people down there to handle that. They sent Shockwave outside the front door to try and deal with in case a roamer tries to rush into library to stop the people from getting themselves in through closet. But ultimately, it didn't help them at all. Yeah. So not enough presence downstairs, I think.
I agree. I definitely agree with that analysis. And one of the things that we're seeing Shockwave do right now, we threw out 2 cams towards the front. Now, a lot of times when you see 1 Val cam, you kill it, you think, okay, you're in the clear. Why would they put a 2 Val cams in a single room? And here's actually something that I think they're trying to get the upper hand in with their information and their mind game.
Yeah, sometimes if you put 2 Val cams in the same spot, the team will shoot 1 and not think that there's going to be another. Now, this is interesting. Vitality is repelling into tower. Now, it looks like what they're going to try and do is push their way through attic, and yeah, they're doing exactly that with their thermite, and just give themselves another angle to work with above this meeting hall bomb site. Now, it's really interesting that they're defending basement, and their focus right now is on taking meeting hall.
And Karzeka right now is gonna try and play the little hide game, but Alems is gonna spot. Oh, Alems doesn't spot him yet. He did not see him, so he's gonna call it all clear. Panics, though, is still gonna move forward in a very cautious manner. And so we're gonna see possibly an engagement here with Jaeger on top of Attic, as enemies down here outside of the red tower waiting for Riser to make another move. But Karzeka here is waiting for Panics. He's gonna push on up. Oh, he needs to stay up and get the shots, but he's gonna drop instead. All he had to do was just peek up. He could have gotten 1 or 2 kills potentially onto Sledge and Thermite. But instead, there's going to be 3 E2 members downstairs inside of the meeting hall at the moment, where Enemy is trying to pick off one of them.
We heard from E2 that they're confident in their gun skill, but unfortunately, Jaeger showing us just the opposite, and ultimately getting picked off by Alems.
Panics is there to pick up another kill there onto Kama, though. Now, Castle was here inside of meeting hall. It looks as though he may have dropped down and recovered with his team. It appears to be so as he's inside of the supply room.
Yeah, they did their job. They wasted 2 minutes of time, but they lost 2 operators for those 2 minutes, so I'm not sure that's worth it.
I think as long as you still have your smoke alive, there's a chance you can get the win.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right about that.
So now Razor playing a little bit aggressive underneath of the drop hatch. Reven moving on down the back stairs. Gases are being thrown on out. Smoke grenades are being tossed as well. Flashbangs, that might not get Ryzen. Oh, it does get Ryzen. He's actually going to sneak right next to him. Raven, you got to look to your side, but no, Razor's going to pick up 1 and be killed from above by Enemy. A 4-on-2 engagement left with 25 seconds to go. Shockwaves right and tucked away in the corner. Smoke grenades might give him a little cover. Flippy, though, looking down the hallway, he's going to spot Alems. There's the turnaround. Alems is going to get 1. Panics gets a team kill onto Enemy. 3-on-1, and there's going to be the kill. Ooh. Flippy picks off 1. Actually, they kill each other there in the final engagement. That
was a beautiful play by Alems, locking out that round. Unfortunately, we won't get to see it a second time because it was a trade kill. However, well played, Alems. Good job. That was a bit of a mistake by the Blackbeard towards the end there, walking through the hallway, not checking his corner. Yes, you flashbanged him. That doesn't mean he's completely disabled. You've got to finish it off, and unfortunately, just not enough droning being done there, given the fact that it was late in the round, had to make that push, and just didn't tilt his head enough. So 3-1 in favor of Vitality now. E2 seeming to be getting a little bit read by Vitality, and they're just kind of trying to, I think it seems like they're trying to play the dynamic game, and it's just not working out for them.
I think Team Vitality has adjusted very well after that first round where E2 took them.
Yeah, no, it seems like, like you said, I think they've got their number. I think they're just trying to play off of what they know about E2 now. They know they're an aggressive team. They know that they're kind of a team that has confidence in their gun skill. And again, I want to touch on that. Jaeger could have gotten a double kill very easily. And Attic was cleared by Vitality. They thought he wasn't there. And he didn't know that, sure. But it showed the fact that he didn't have confidence in his ability to win that engagement by peeking out when he fell downstairs. And again, ultimately, because he didn't have that confidence, he died not having achieved anything.
I feel like I know for a fact that he heard the drone. He might not have seen it, but he would have heard it. And you know the wall got blown up. So even if you're going to drop, it's still in your best interest to take a peek.
And then also your teammates are calling the fact that Sledge was shooting through that drop. You could hear it, and your teammates had to have said something about it. So it really makes you wonder. But anyway, it doesn't really matter in the end. E2 now 1-3. And they are going to be bringing there, again, a very aggressive lineup to the board here versus Team Vitality's slightly less aggressive defensive lineup. They've brought back the Rook. Now, seemingly the only operator in this entire match that's been 3 armor.
Now, here might be another engagement again between Karzeka and Alems. Alems was taken out the first round here, and it might be the same case because he's looking through a very similar window just on the other side. The drone will spot him out, and therefore Alems is going to have to relocate or be risked out being killed again.
He's taken that risk. What we saw there last is he was re-peeking that window after being droned. And I think he's still there. Yeah, he's just playing deep on the stairs, and he's coming back now.
He's coming for the peek, almost overextending himself to Karzeka's view. And there's the kill. Flippy, though, taking on the shot to Rook and taking him down.
I understand the idea of playing a Rook in that tower, but unfortunately, if you get droned out, you're pretty much useless. You have to play a little bit safer.
There's a lot of utility up in this top floor between reinforced walls, barbed wire. A nice shot by Rise, getting Razor at the top of the stairs. He's going to peek on out, trying to get Flippy. He gets him down, but doesn't get the kill. More shots coming in from the window. Not going to touch him just yet, but Kama going to pick up his buddy here, Flippy, as well. That's Diffuser that could have potentially been down.
This is well done roam by Rise this time, not just getting picked off, getting that first kill, and now he's done his job. No matter what, even if he dies here, he's done his job. He's wasted time and he's gotten a kill.
Yep, and so right now Rise is being pinched in from 4 attackers. You've got some pre-fire happening in from Shockwave. Looks like Kama will go down by Panics coming up from the side here. Now, with Shockwave at the back stairs, you've got Capitao that's moved in. Where has the Jaeger gone? He must have rushed on out or dropped through the hole, as you just have Panics here in the middle dorms. Now he's able to pick off another kill, a triple kill for Panics. Can he get the last kill with a pistol? No! Shockwave is going to be there to take down Panics. Now a 3-on-1 with 40 seconds left. Diffuser has to get picked up by Shockwave. He's got 40 health to go in a 3-on-1 scenario.
With 30 seconds on the clock, it's not looking good for him. Unfortunately, this round pretty much played out entirely by the roamers. Jaeger doing an excellent job, Bandit backing him up, even though Rook got picked off early.
Agreed, and so with 20 seconds left, unless Team Vitality is going to make some massive errors here, it looks as though it will go to match point after here.
Uh-oh, he's looked away.
Looking away, there's the flick from Reven. Turn around and get the shot down onto Shockwave.
You know, E2 said they have confidence in their gunplay and they know they can hit their shots, but it seems like Vitality are just hitting those snaps right now. And maybe it's just they're in the zone. They're in that place where they know they can hit everything. But all of their players seemingly, you know, we saw Lems rush in and kill 3 people.
Yep.
You know, earlier. We saw that was a crazy snap by Valkyrie there at the end. So E2 not showing up in the way that we're expecting them to, unfortunately. Are they going to be able to bring it back, though? They are going to be defending Kids Dorm again, and this is going to, I think, this is going to be a good opportunity for them to, you know, turn this map on its head. They're bringing the Mira. That's going to give them a little bit more of a versatility, more options here on this particular defense. So maybe they'll be able to utilize that. This is the first time that we have seen Mira, and they're also bringing a Doc. So it's a heavily 3-armored lineup. This is counter to what we've been seeing from them throughout the entire match, counter to what we've been seeing from both these teams, really.
Agreed, and I think it's worth noting that you had said earlier that some teams will bash their head against a single site trying to get it down. This is their 3rd attempt at it.
Yep.
The previous 2 were unsuccessful, but they are changing up their operators.
Yeah, they're at least trying something new. They know that they want to defend upstairs, but they also know that it hasn't been working. So, okay, if we can't make our roamer game work, if we can't make our 3-speed, you know, operators work, bring some 3 armors. You know, give ourselves some more HP, some more room to breathe, and I think that's the right decision. I really like the way that they're setting this up. They're putting that mirror on the wall, and with that mirror, you're going to be able to see. You're not only going to be able to hold Master, but you're also going to be able to hold the stairs themselves, as long as you have somebody holding your flank from Armory.
I actually like that line of sight that he's got on that mirror window.
Yeah.
From mirror window, you saw him opening up the hole in the wall. He's able to see the stairs.
Yeah. And he's going to be playing, it looks like an Armory. Now, that's really sensible. Holding Armory is going to give you a lot of options and going to deny a lot for the attackers in a way that if an attacker gets into Armory, he opens up that hallway wall, he can then have line of sight to cut off rotations.
And that just might be the end of Shockwave. He is tucked in a corner with no way out, but right now, Blackbeard doesn't know exactly where he is. He will give away his position. Another flashbang goes in. There's 0 flashbangs left here for Reven. He's going to have to either find another way in or risk rappelling in and getting Shockwave to kill him.
They're spending a lot of resources on this Shockwave in Armory. And Vitality, or Ravon, now has a direct line of sight in where he knows Shockwave to be.
Ooh, almost a headshot there. Just narrowly missing, scraping his side. Down to 70 health with a C4 in hand at the moment. Now we've got a master balcony, or master bedroom balcony push here from Rise. Looks like enemies trying to hold from underneath. Reven's decided, I don't have the utility to necessarily get up there, but that doesn't mean I should give it up that easily. So he's going to stay on that window. Kama might be trying to help a little bit. Looks like Addict's going to get opened up here by Olems. And now with still half the round left to go, we're not seeing too much of a push. It's almost like let's wait for the angles. Let's wait for an aggressive peek from the defenders.
And they get just that after they push their way into Armory. Enemy getting a pick onto the Mira as I looked like she was trying to run away from Armory. I think that was a bit of a mistake there. Now Thermite's going to be able to open up that wall, and again, they're going to be able to cut off those rotations. They still have a whole minute to work with, and this is match point. This is, this is the last chance, the last bastion for E2. Again,
so we're seeing a very similar player setup. We have 3 upstairs, Castle's still downstairs, most likely in meeting hall. But the walls are getting opened up. The Team Vitality is starting to push in, starting to collapse, and they've already baited out 1 smoke. They've got 2 left in 45 seconds. plenty of time to make this push successfully. You do have Panics inside of the attic. Razor trying to come up from underneath, coming out of the meeting hall, working his way up, but he's been spotted by Blackbeard and Reven, able to cover the flank down. Karzeka, though, able to get a Lems to make it into a 3-on-4. 30 seconds remaining. Looks like Ash is going to have one of her breach charges taken away by the ADS. Trying to get rid of the barbed wire. That will be successful, the second one. That's going to allow Reven to move on forward. With 20 seconds, they're still pushing in. Looks like Karzeka's going to get another kill here on the Panic. Gets a third kill. Could it be all his work here? He's going to get another one. Actually, Flippy's going to get this one to the enemy. Last man alive. Looks like that's going to be Thermite. Flippy, though, able to get the double kill for his team. And that is E2 trying to stick with it here on map number 1.
That was an excellent round from E2. They kind of messed it up a little bit with their armory hold, right? They lost a player early on, and well, it wasn't even early on, actually. It was pretty far into the round, but they did lose their armory hold player without him trading back at all. However, Vitality got stalled out on their take a little bit. They couldn't push their way all the way into sight, and because of that, E2 all they had to do was wait, and they did just that. And ipso facto, they went around.
I think that was a very it was a great example from E2 on how a team should continue to hold a bomb site to the last second.
Patience.
Yeah, patience. Patience was key in that angle, or in that way.
Yeah, it was a good execution, and honestly, that's not what I expected to see from E2. That patience. But we have to touch again on the way that they adapted their roster, or not the roster rather, but their operator picks. They switched to a heavy 3 armor operator pick lineup, and two of them, Doc and Mira, and I think that was ultimately what gave them that round. They were like, okay, aggression is not working.
Yep.
So let's try passiveness, and it worked perfectly for them. So maybe, just maybe, they didn't change their attacking lineup at all, but maybe they're gonna see a little bit of that translate to their attacks, and maybe they're gonna play a little bit more passively, hold some angles, wait for Vitality to peek into them, the way Vitality's been doing to E2. Because we saw, Vitality played the same exact game they had been playing the whole time. It's just E2 didn't peek them.
Agreed. And so, like you noted out here, the attacking lineup is the exact same as it's been for 4 attacking phase so far. And I'm curious if that is going to be kind of one of the downfalls of their play here on Oregon, especially moving forward into the future of the Pro League this season.
No, you have to question that. Are they going to be able to make the adaptation? Are they going to try and work in Glaz or Montaigne, or are they going to simply just kind of go with what they're familiar with, what they're comfortable with? Because you could see from this lineup, the only person who's really who's probably made a sacrifice to bring the utility instead of playing the operator that they want is Thatcher. Maybe the Thatcher player wants to play Thatcher, but he's the only one who's everyone else is all these other operators. They're fraggers as much as they are utilitarians, and you've got your Captau arrows, you've got your Habana breaching rounds, but they're still fraggers.
Yep.
They've got that high-powered gun and that 3-speed.
So here we have Flippy getting rid of the castle wall inside of Armory, but he's been able to take this without any kind of hitch his way. Now with bomb site being upstairs yet again, will we see any kind of, shall we say, awkward shots or unique shots? I don't quite know yet, but we do have smoke right around the close corner enemy going back and forth between the middle dorms and the close corner on the hallway by Flippy.
And you could see that the defenders are not actually playing in Attic. They're simply using it as an option to rotate back into the site for their meeting hall guys. But I don't think this is the right decision. You've got 2 players on site right now, just 2. You've got 1 playing towards Junk Tower, and you've got 2 in meeting hall. If the attackers simply force the issue with the 2 guys in sight, they could probably just plant.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at, we just saw the outlines of Jaeger and Castle. Castle was in meeting hall. Jaeger looked to have either been in lobby or in the front of meeting hall. They both look to have been holding a very similar angle, and that's not necessarily what you want to do.
Yeah.
But you do have Razor, who was able to pick off Panics. That was the Castle going down, but Rise, swinging around the side, will pick up his own, and Shockwave able to answer back, taking down Rise.
And this is E2. They've complete gear shifted. They're playing so much more passively. They're waiting for Vitality the way Vitality waited for them, and another pick from Karzeka. And now it's a 2-on-4 with 30 seconds left. They have the time advantage.
Oh, and Alem saw the tip of the barrel there. He's able to get 1 kill, but can he get another? He will down Kama as Reven will pick up Shockwave. So, last man alive, all he's got to do is just throw it up and get the double kill. He's going to misfire it.
No!
And it will not land. So close to getting the down teammate as well as the remaining standing operator from the attack squad. 15 seconds to go. Diffuser will get planted inside of A as we've got Hibana stationed inside of B to hold down a push here. Now Reven's going to move in potentially here through the middle dorms. Will he be spotted out? Flippy, though, very, very tightly tucked into A. Now Kama's watching the stairs. Reeve is waiting to hear some of that barbed wire move. There's the push on out. Flippy's gonna turn his head to the side, and Flippy will get one, and that will be the kill there onto Reven. We will see E2 come on back. It's 4-3 at the moment.
Wow, that's truly unfortunate from Ravon. That C4 almost locked out the entire map, but no, just a little bit off, a couple feet to the left, and unfortunately, we see now well, unfortunately for Vitality, that is, we see a 3-4. As you said, E2 making their way back into this map. They really are showing that they can adapt on the fly to the way Vitality's playing. Because at the beginning, we were seeing, okay, Vitality, they were just on attack. They were just holding the angles and waiting for E2 to peek. E2 stopped peeking. And then on defense, they were hard roaming and just winning their engagements because E2 was getting a little too aggressive, and so E2, they stopped getting as aggressive. They started doing what Vitality was doing, and now Vitality's making that mistake on defense where they're peeking into E2 who are holding the angles. It's a complete swap of roles.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those, like you said, swap of roles, and we're actually seeing Doc will get put away, I believe, for mute this time, but Shockwave is still going to be that Mira, and that Mira play, while it didn't progress to be a kill, it did progress to take a lot of time away the previous round when they were holding on to the armor.
Right, and I think on the basement, Mira is going to be even more useful. You put that Mira in the closet, which is what you're seeing her. She's probably going to do in about a second here. You put it down in this closet, and you have so much more information on typically where a team will plant in the lobby. Plus, you can challenge it directly. So I think this is it's going to help their hold a lot more. It's pretty difficult to deal with those mirror windows being on that wall. You know, that what you can do is you can shoot a Hibana charge onto them, but then if there's somebody playing in laundry and you don't have anyone set up to deal with that, they can simply shoot the Hibana charges off of the mirror. So it's, you know, it's a big dance, and it's very complicated. The way to counter it typically is to, instead of trying to take lobby, opt for a construction take.
Yep. Yeah, they're pushing construction, possibly go down red tower, but we know that all of the teams here have always played off a site with at least two roamers.
Right.
And many of the times we've seen them stuck inside a meeting hall or even in red tower. So this is where Reven's going to come into play, trying to clear from above, but LMs is already there. Panix is holding the very top, so we are seeing a red tower push.
Yeah, it's a red tower / construction take. We've got somebody out in, looks like, yeah, the Thermite is waiting to push into construction with Ash, and they're going to probably open up that wall and push and smoke their way into B and just try and get that plant down.
See, I like this a lot from Team Vitality, because if you take a look at where all the utility has been spent from E2, it's towards the front.
Yeah, it's to stop that lobby take. You're absolutely right. I mean, and Vitality, they just read that, and they're like, okay, we'll just go the other way then. And that's the correct decision, I think.
Now we do have Razor, who's inside a kitchen. He heard the explosion inside a meeting hall, so he's going to back out of kitchen and possibly wait to make sure he doesn't get droned out. But right now he's just sitting outside of kitchen L. And Reven working his way down as the rest of meeting hall will get opened up here momentarily.
Take it back.
Yeah, and I think this is a big mistake on Castle's part, too, is he's anticipating people to try and take from lobby, and he's castled himself out of meeting hall now. He's a null factor. The best he can do is maybe go up to attic and try and drop down if he's got that wall open, but other than that, he's not helping anybody.
Yeah, it looks like the only wall that's been opened is that little stock room inside of the kitchen facing meeting hall. But they've already got that on lockdown.
Oh, okay, if that was open, then yeah, he's got a rotation back, but even so, he's limiting himself by being on that side of the map.
Agreed.
He's probably going to rotate back into the side at some point. And we're seeing from Vitality, 1 minute left on the clock. No picks from either team yet. 5-5. Oh, but there's the first one.
Now Karzeka will pick off enemy here. Still plenty of time, though, for Team Vitality to make the push, but they'll have to do it soon. Karzeka's coming around for the flank, though. He's coming down the back stairwell as Razor is working his way into the meeting hall. He's waiting for that right point in time. Olem's working his way down here, as we also have Blackbeard right behind him. Smoke grenades are going to go out. There's going to be the mute. I believe that is Rise, sorry. Rise, no, I'm sorry, that is Flippy? I can't see the name at the moment. In either case, that is Mute, who was pushing down some...
Kama, it was Kama.
It was Kama, that's right. All right, Panix and Reven, though, able to take down Shockwave and Kama as Flippy gets Rise with a smoke grenade. Now Blackbeard's shield will get destroyed as his head does as well. Karzeka coming on down back to site. Razor able to take Olems. A 1-on-3 swap now. E2 could come back to tie it up. We are going to go into overtime on map number 1.
That was a fantastically a really well played round from E2. Okay, so here's what happened. Vitality, they got their push in, right? They avoided the mirrors. They're like, okay, we can't handle that. They got a little distracted with those roamers though, but they lost a player to the roamers, but they didn't full commit to dealing with them. And because of that, Castle and Jaeger were then allowed to come up from behind. Well, Jaeger actually went back into the site, but Castle was allowed to come up from behind and fully lock out that round in favor of E2 because Vitality, they jumped in between what they were trying to do. They were, okay, we're going to push straight in. We're going to just, forget about the roamers. And then they lost a player to roamers, so they got a little distracted. They slowed their attack. And then they lost some players on their push into the site. And then they finally made, okay, we have to just push in, and roamers come from behind. I mean, you've got to make a decision. You've got to commit to something, whether it's the right decision or not. Because otherwise, you're just going to find yourself between a rock and a hard place, and you're not going to win no matter what.
All right, so what we're going to see here from Team Vitality looks to be similar lineup, similar position. We've always seen Valkyrie go in, throw a camera, reinforce the wall facing the dining hall. It seems as though the defensive setup is very static or very similar to what it's previously been.
I'm interested to see. They don't have a Mira on this basement defense, and I honestly think that that's a poor decision. The Mira brings so much to holding that. I mean, yes, okay. If you invest all your utility in holding lobby, or the lobby drop, okay, maybe they'll just attack from construction, but then they're going to attack from construction. In either way, you're forcing them into one decision or another. Either it's going to be hard for them because they're facing your utility with your mirrors, or it's going to be hard for them because they're going to be attacking from construction, so you stack it. And I'm really kind of disappointed that we're not seeing the adaptation from Vitality on holding that basement within, the addition of Mira that we saw. We did see that with E2.
Yeah, I feel like a third of the battle on defense is knowing where the push is coming from.
I totally agree. I think that has a lot to do with it. And again, you can force them into that decision. But instead, they're opting to have an extremely hard roam game, which I don't think worked. I think this was the first round that E2 won on this basement when they were roaming this hard.
Correct. And Team Vitality, I think, did alter some things previously because we did have Rise, who was upstairs, and Panix as well. Panix did get almost the quad kill, or the triple kill.
Yeah, he actually totally dominated on one of these rounds. But I think the problem for me is that it all comes down to those roamers.
Yeah. So you can see some of the blind shots from Razor will go through the mattress into the wall and hurt Rise a little bit, but not enough to get him to fall down just yet. We did see those smoke took quite a bit of damage, though. I believe that was downstairs from a push. Ooh, Kama will go down by Alems. And now Shockwave will also get taken out. Here is Rookies goes for the third kill there onto the main stairs. Now E2 did the correct thing. They let go of the roamers and tried to push down main stairs. But when you're still facing Alems, who's the Rook, you still need to have some authority down there, and they didn't have it.
Yeah, you're totally right. They couldn't win those engagements, but it looks like they're planting right now. The plant's been stopped by Panix. Or no, sorry, I was mistaken. That was the smoke. And now the Fire Arrow finally going to be able to take out Alems. Not that it's going to matter. 3 versus 1 now.
Karzeka will drop silently. He's got to pick up the diffuser, but as soon as he stands up, enemies on the main stairs to take him down, and Team Vitality will go 1 round up in overtime.
And that was an excellent basement defense from Vitality, but it really honestly just came down to Alems. And you're right. You're totally right. They did the right thing, the correct decision. Okay, there's roamers. Let's go somewhere else. But I think they made it in the wrong way. Instead of going for a lobby take, okay, you don't have to deal with that mirror, sure. Maybe just try to go for a construction take because it is just as contained as a lobby take. You take control of tower, easy peasy. You push your way through it through construction, and then you have one person remain in meeting hall to wait for those roamers to start their flank and just push your way in. I mean, but instead they opted for lobby, and Alems just nice quick 3K, easy peasy, hold that site.
And I think one of the things you mentioned there was if they would have navigated over to the red tower, done a construction push, you can more easily lock out the roamers.
Yeah.
Because they've only got the attic and meeting hall to push back towards you. They can't go any other way without being detected.
And that's just one direction for somebody to hold with a gun. And it's as simple as that. But now we're going to see E2. They are going to be holding upstairs. Will Vitality be able to calculate their aggression, calculate their holds a little bit better? Will E2 start peaking again? Or is this going to come down to, again, what we saw last time where E2 played a little bit passive, they just waited for the Vitality team to push their way in, and they ended up getting those frags when it mattered the most in the last 30 seconds. We don't have a Mira this time, so they weren't going to see that awesome, angle from the mirror onto the stairs. but I don't think it's going to matter. Obviously, Vitality, it didn't really stop Vitality last time, so I think this is the right decision, bringing her out of that rotation. She's a lot more useful in basement.
Yeah, and so I mean, E2 is 1 for 3 on this top bomb site. However, when it counted, they did pull out the win. And so this round also counts for them.
Yeah.
This is a win or loss because this is map point for Team Vitality. Now, one of the things that we're going to be seeing here again is Reven going up onto the parking, onto the armory window, facing off against Shockwave. Now, last time Shockwave was here, he was a Mira. He was able to dodge a couple death shots, but ultimately he was picked off without doing anything other than wasting time from Vitality. But it was enough to force Vitality to rush in forward.
Yeah, and it did win them the round in the long run. But I'm curious, is Ravon going to be able to follow up on these flashbangs? Because he is full flashing him, and if he repels in while flashbanging, in theory, he should be able to win that engagement. I just think he doesn't have enough confidence in the flashbangs themselves to actually blind that Valkyrie.
Agreed. I think the correct move, now that you've flashed him once, make sure he's tucked in the corner, have someone drone it out, flashbang twice, and then repel in. Because
Bingo.
Not only are you blind, but you also have the sound audible that you can't hear the repel start to click in.
Exactly. But instead, they're going to opt to try and take him from underneath, using both ass charges from the garage to try and get a line of sight onto him. But he's just going to reposition to another corner.
Yep. Oh, Razor, though, trying to take out Alems, but Alems goes sideways as he gets into the window, taking him down to the top of Red Tower. Red Tower is now his, as Shockwave is tucked inside of his corner yet again. And there are 0 stun grenades left from Reven. So again, Reven's going to have a lot of trouble making his way into Armory.
And there's less than half of the round left. And he's just dancing in front of this window, almost taunting him, continuing to waste time. He knows they have to get him out of that corner.
Now it looks like Kama and Enemy are going to go head-to-head here. Shockwave will finally fall to Reven. But taking 2 minutes off of the clock from Blackbeard holding down that hallway. Tremendous job there.
Yeah, and only a minute left here. It is a man advantage for the attacking team, but it's still, you know, Kama here ready for that flank.
Now we are going to have Flippy inside of kids' dorms. Kama's trying to come from underneath. He's inside of the classroom right now. Last time he tried coming for the flank, it looks like, oh, I don't think Enemy saw him. Enemy will get picked off from the peak outside. Kama gets 1. E-man count is back to even. However, Kazeka gets another kill. Be in the dock yet again. Can he get another 3K? He's gotten 1 kill. He's going to go for Reven here shortly. He spots the shield of the Blackbeard, but Blackbeard peeks around through the smoke, able to take down Karzeka. A 2-on-2 at the moment, 15 seconds to go. Flippy and Kama each have a traitor, each have a crossfire. Looks like Kama's going to peek around the corner here momentarily. 7 seconds to go. The plant does not go down. Kama takes down 1. Blackbeard's last man alive, and Flippy gets him with the SMG-11. And this is going to go into round 11.
And this round went the same exact way that the last upstairs defense did for E2, and the same exact reason that that Shockwave wasting time in Armory, denying Blackbeard access to it for so long, just like practically the whole round, he's just sitting in Armory. He's not doing anything. He's not shooting anyone. He's just jumping, darting between the 2 corners behind the window because Blackbeard can't seem to do anything about it. And honestly, I think it comes down to, like you were saying earlier, you know, test it with 1 flashbang. Okay, then you know, have your teammates drone him, because clearly this is the main issue and should be the main focus of your team overall. Have your teammates drone him, find out exactly what corner he's in, throw both your flashbangs, 1 in the corner where he is now, 1 in the corner where he will rotate to when he sees the flash, and then just repel in and kill him, because he has to be flashbanged in that instance. You got to be a little bit more aggressive. You have those flashbangs, you have that potential to get him out of that room. You're just not capitalizing on it. You're wasting too much time.
Yeah, I think the perception of Blackbeard has rolled over from the very beginning on him being a static window peeker, a static hallway peeker.
Yeah.
And that, I think, has flowed into the mentality of E2.
And you really don't need to do that.
Sorry, of Vitality.
Yeah, you really don't need to do that. He doesn't have to be that. When somebody's blind, it doesn't matter who you are repelling on a window. He's blind. He can't see you. You've got flashbangs. You've got that potential. And then also, there's other options. There's other ways to handle it. You don't just have, you know, you could have had those ash charges from underneath sooner. You could have had a buck from underneath sooner. You could have had somebody come up the main stairs and just rush in along with the flashbangs. You don't have to repel in.
Now,
you know, you've got a lot of choices.
I think this is the first time E2 has changed up any of their attacking lineup, and we're going to see Sledge instead of Buck.
Yeah, no, that's not a huge change, but a change nonetheless. And it doesn't look like Vitality is going to be trying to stop anyone from going into Armory, and they're going to find that out real quick. And this is the sort of time wasting that ET was doing that Vitality is just not. They've got 2 players in Meeting Hall, but how much are they going to be able to influence this round from Meeting Hall?
So Bandit has been spotted. That's Rise inside of Meeting Hall, as well as I think Jaeger was there. So they know that there's a pair, a duo inside of the Meeting Hall, and what are they going to do about it? We'll have to stay tuned and see as Riser's moving around towards the back entrance of Red Tower.
And straight into Armory, and guess what? There's 2 minutes on the clock instead of 30 seconds, so plenty of time for them to work on or work with here. And they have complete control now of half of the top floor. They just have to worry about people coming from behind, and that shouldn't be too much of an issue if you can just establish line of sight onto that ladder and the stairs in the lobby.
Now Flippy again still moving forward. It looks like Hibana, that is Kama, going to get the closet opened up from the master bedroom into the middle dorms. Still, like you said, plenty of time. There's only 2 attackers upstairs. And this is one of those sites where you only have 3 ways to get back onto site without being detected. So right now, you've got the attackers that have control of 2 of those methods, or two of those avenues.
We're seeing from Vitality here, again, a little bit of an indecision. They're trying to deal with the roamers, but at the same time, they're trying to simply push into the site. And this is what we saw from them on their basement attack that they lost, and it ended up costing them the round. They need to get a little bit more concise with their decisions here. They need to either push the guys in Meeting Hall and lose or win based on that, or they need to push into site, ignore the roamers, and lose or win based on that instead of wasting time like this. Because now they're down to a minute. They got into the site, or they got into Armory so quickly, but only a minute left, and there's the first pick.
So Lems will take down Flippy. That's going to be the Sledge who managed to make his way into the top floor. Kama's also going to try to challenge Lems here, but Rise able to pick down Razor. I believe that was still inside of the Meeting Hall at the moment. This is where Jaeger is. However, 2 defenders are very much hurt. So it still is in the realm of E2 to get this clutch, but there's only 30 seconds left, and they need to make a push. Shockwave's still outside of the main lobby. He's scared of Rise, who's inside a Meeting Hall. He doesn't know that there's only 25 seconds. You've got Karzeka, who's outside as well. He'll get picked off. A 5-on-2 at the moment, 20 seconds. You've got Rise coming up the back Red Tower. Kama's the only one on site. He's able to get enemy down, 4-on-2. But again, 15 seconds left. Shockwave's moving on forward now. Alems will get Kama. Last man alive is going to be Shockwave, who moves on forward, and Reven will take him out. Team Vitality will win this 6-5.
An extremely close match, and again, a lot of role swapping going on in that matchup. At the beginning, you had Vitality being the patient ones, and then it was E2 being the patient ones, and then finally at the end, very, very end, Vitality pulled it out. They applied their patience, and E2 got a little confused with that attack. They weren't sure what they were trying to do. Were they trying to get rid of the roamers? Were they trying to push into the site? They got a little spread out, and it ended up costing them. Wow, a very similar scoreboard from these 2 teams. Look at that.
3-11, 9-5-5, or 3-11, 5-4-4.
Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah, extremely close. But that's the first map. So that's Oregon out of the way in favor of Vitality. And but again, we have to talk about how close that was.
That was.
Vitality brought it. They brought it to the. It was match point 4-1, and then just E2 just turned around and said, "No, we're going to go ahead and start making this comeback." And they couldn't finalize it.
So here we have some of the highlights of this matchup between these 2 on Oregon, and Reven coming up around to get that final kill onto him. But this right here, I hope we get to see Alem's triple kill.
Yeah, we got to see the first kill of the triple kill, but we all know that was a triple kill, and it was a very impressive one at that. And I think you were trying to touch on the fact that he just walked into that site and won those engagements.
Yeah, and so Alem's again.
And there it is again.
Doing a lot of work here. He gets that double kill. Here's the triple, the 3rd of his kills. There it is. So, I mean, you saw both teams. You had basically Karzeka and Alems were the triple kill masters there of that series.
Yeah, they applied a lot of pressure to the opposite teams. They did a lot of work, both of them. And I'm curious to see if that's going to continue on, that trend's going to continue on when we go into the next map, which is going to be, I think, what was it?
Consulate.
Consulate.
Yes.
So, we are going to just see, they're trying to move around some players right now, and we're going to see what happens on Consulate in a moment. But let's talk real quick about that last matchup and how the momentum shifted back and forth. Because in the beginning, it was favoring Vitality, right? And then E2, they started making their comeback. And what do you think, attributed to that? I'm curious.
So, to me, I from the very get-go, from the first round, I thought E2 had it in the bag because of their aggressive. So it was aggressive push on the attack side, going after Team Vitality's defensive hold.
Yeah.
That was sporadic throughout the entire map. They were very spread out. But when it started getting to Team Vitality's favor, I think what E2 had to do, and what I think they did successfully, was they really took a step back and said, we don't need to be as aggressive as we thought we had to be. I mean, we saw that when they finally won their top 4 bomb site, they were holding the soft angles.
Right.
They were the ones that said, okay, we can be aggressive, but we don't need to be the ones that are disadvantaging ourselves by going for the peak.
Yeah, I definitely I concur with that assessment, but yeah, no, we're waiting now to get into the next match, which is going to be Consulate. I'm just trying to tell me something right now that I cannot hear.
Yeah, no, so it's all good. So we are just waiting on 1 or 2 more players to swap sides here. But like you said, going back to Oregon, like I said, I think the thing that put it into E2 to bring back that drive was their change in mentality, their ability, possibly their in-game leader, or maybe it was their coach or manager in their ear saying, let's slow it down.
Yeah, and it's a little sad that they couldn't lock it out too, because they had that. Obviously, clearly, they understood how Vitality was playing throughout the middle of that match. They got their number, they figured them out, and then they just could not. They couldn't lock that out in the end. They couldn't solidify their win, and it's a little disappointing to see because they kind of choked a little bit. You know, I mean, they spread themselves too thin.
Yep.
They had, I think it was 2 players by tower, and then 2 players trying to push in upstairs, and then 1 player trying to keep downstairs control in lobby to deny the flank, and it's too spread out. There's too many players at different ends of the map trying to fulfill different roles, and you need to decide. Again, we were talking about this in the middle of the match. Vitality was the one making this mistake earlier. You need to decide on if you're handling the roamers or if you're handling the site itself.
Yep. And I think there was a distinction. We saw that happen midway through when E2 decided to push on down the main stairs. When Bombsite was downstairs, they decided to push on down, and they had the right job, but Olems had gotten that triple kill. They just weren't prepared for it. But now we're here on to Consulate.
Yeah.
Talking about bomb sites, we've seen people kind of push and hold on to the top site the majority of the time. Do you think we'll see any middle bomb site holding here?
Well, okay. So the theory with Consulate is that it's like a big breakable square throughout, right? You can shoot up and down through pretty much the majority of it. And when you're dealing with the middle bomb site, as a defensive team, you can then try and hold it from below, or you could try and hold it from above, or you can do both. So it comes down to how the offensive team are then handling it. Okay, are they going to try and take above for your lobby hold? Are they going to try and take below for your lobby hold? And how do you, as a team, a defensive team, how do you handle that? So if they're trying to enter into below, do you simply move everyone from your team upstairs instead of trying to engage them front on? Or do you hard hold it? Do you push more people from your defensive team downstairs to try and trade back the kills and whatnot? And it just comes down to the teams. But I think from both these teams, I don't really expect to see a lobby hold. It's just as viable, in my opinion, as upstairs or downstairs. But I expect both these teams to try for a garage upstairs hold. It's just a lot more common in the European meta.
I'm always skeptical of mirrors that throw their windows in connectors where there are windows, or on places where all it takes is an attacker to rappel up and shoot it to open it up. Because the objective of that mirror is to give you a line of sight one way from one bomb site to the other in most cases. Well, now you get a Blackbeard on that corner office window. You have someone on the connector window to shoot the little oxygen tank. And now Blackbeard has a perfect line of sight through connector. Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you. But at the same time, on Consulate, on this particular map, I think upstairs, there's very few places you can actually put that mirror that will actually aid you. I think maybe a better setup would have been having one that looks towards the yellow stairs from inside B, and then another one that has line of sight from the little kitchen area up into into CEO. But it looks like a pick early on from Flippy onto their Thermite. That's going to throw their strategy, whatever it would be, into a little bit of disarray. When you're bringing a Thermite to an upstairs take, that means that you have a distinct idea. Whoa, an unreinforced wall in B.
Yeah, that entire place is unreinforced except for the little sliver. So
yeah, that's kind of interesting. I'm curious as to why they're doing something like that. That means they can't play anyone in that corner.
Now, as you saw, Thermite did get picked off from the B site the A site looking right on down. It looks as though Olems gets downed. Not finished off just yet, though, but he is down for the count.
Now, that mirror that we were talking about being a little bit of an odd one is their entire pivot for this whole hold. They have no one in B to stop. The doorway's been castled, so the only way for them to stop a B plant is through this mirror. And all they need to do to stop that for Vitality, all they need to do to negate that is simply repel on the connector window, as you were talking about earlier. Or even you can get it from the balcony outside of A.
Now it looks like Alems will get picked up here momentarily. Kama's going to be spotting out Panics here. I believe that is outside on the balcony? No, I'm sorry, that is yellow stairs.
So their other way of holding the B site, I was mistaken. The other way of holding the B site is they have that pulse underneath. So he's going to be able to C4 anyone who comes in for the plant.
Yep.
But Vitality, they haven't really established themselves on anything here. They, again, are a little bit confused on their take.
Ooh, Razor will pick off Enemy and move on forward into the middle stairs, the circle stairs, moving his way up. A 5-on-2. Now, this is something I think E2 is obviously looking looking forward to. Panics has been called out here on the yellow stairs. Haban has been injured, so Bathroom won't get opened up. So that means there's only 2 attackers left. However, now there's only 1, and they know he's on yellow stairs. Razor's going to call out Reven. You've got Panics coming on down. He'll be picking off Razor, though. And now last man alive, Shockwave gets him down for the count.
A good defense from E2, and I like the way that they're handling this B hold. Now, it was interesting to me that how they weren't reinforcing the closet, but clearly they've just got an entirely different setup for this hold. And Vitality doesn't seem to know how to handle it. Now, E2 talked about how they're not a very strat-heavy team, but that was clearly a bit of an innovative strat in of itself. I mean, like something we haven't seen before, really.
Correct.
They're not playing anyone in B. They're not even reinforcing the B wall. They're playing a pulse underneath, which is pretty typical, but then they're also playing a Mira in the connector. Now, I have to argue that that strat could be easily countered by simply repelling a Blackbeard on the connector window, or taking Bathroom, because they weren't holding that either. They had holes to shoot people who came into Bathroom, but you could smoke that out. I mean, I feel like that's a really counterable strat. It's just Vitality wasn't ready for it, and they fell into the trap that E2 set up for them.
Yeah, it almost seemed like Vitality in that sense, I'm sorry, E2, Vitality in that sense came in with, we're going to attack this bomb site this way, and that's that.
Yeah.
They didn't seem flexible on the fly.
And yeah, and it ended up costing them. We have to wonder, are they going to be able to adapt then? Are they going to see the way? Oh, looks like they're doing something similar, or at least along the same lines as what E2 were doing. However, they're not bringing a castle to totally isolate B, and they are going to be reinforcing the closet wall. So I'm imagining they're probably going to place somebody in B. Anyway, you have to imagine, or have to wonder if Vitality is going to be able to take what E2 just did, see the way that they held that site, and apply a direct counter by rappelling onto the connector window. Oh, actually, I just struck me. I feel a little bit stupid now. They did rappel on the connector window. We saw that castle run out the front door. They had no one in position to stop them.
Correct.
So they tried to counter their strat. They weren't set up well enough to counter it.
Agreed. And I mean, so going back to the mirrors being placed in places where you can repel and get them killed off, you see Blackbeard, you just called it, going up to the connector window. The mirror window inside of the bathroom is in the same location. It's right by a window that can be picked off or can be opened up for yellow stairs. Yeah,
but Vitality's going to be playing it a little bit different. They will have somebody hard holding in bathroom, see if it works out for them. This is almost reminiscent of the armory hold that we were seeing earlier. However, I feel like especially in this position, it's a lot easier to flashbang somebody in bathroom. You throw 3 flashbangs in there, there's no way they are not blind or have left the room.
Agreed. All right, and so we do have 2/3 of the round left. It looks like Enemy's feet will be tagged by Shockwave. Give him a little bit of a wake-up call that he needs to stand up and be more active, because right now he's being pinched inside of the A site. Now he is right behind Razor, though, looking to see, will he spot his head? Not quite there yet. Alems will get down the Blackbeard. Enemy, though, finally taking down Razor, who was peeking upside down. That is Demon down. So we're going to spot here. Enemy gets droned out. Shockwave's going to go all the way to the roof. Reven gets Kama. Here he is. Reven now spotting Capital on top of the yellow stairs.
And it's looking a little tight here for E2. 2 versus 5 now, and 1 person is known to the Vitality team lineup. It looks like they're going to rappel onto the B window. I guess they're assuming that nobody's playing in connector. They're right in this instance, but it's kind of risky.
Now Shockwave is on that corner office window. He is going to rappel on inside. Will someone be there to catch him? It doesn't look like it. Karzeka's going to get panics, though. It looks as though Alems with the MP7 gets down Karzeka.
Blackbeard has made his way into the site here, but he doesn't have the diffuser, so it's not really going to matter in the end.
Nope, it's over here on top of the yellow stairs. They now know where he's in. He knows he's inside of the site, and there will be the kill by Ryzen right onto Shockwave.
A good defense from Vitality, applying something or some of what E2 did, similar, right? They brought the Mira, they used her in a kind of a similar way. However, they didn't play as hard on it, not as hard as E2 was expecting, because E2, their entire hold was pivoted around this Pulse underneath and the Mira playing in connector. If those two things had been taken out of place, then Vitality would have been easily been able to take B. But Vitality's hold, on the other hand, was a little bit more dynamic, a little bit more fluid. They had their roamers, sure, but they weren't pivoting around a Pulse underneath, and they weren't pivoting around somebody playing in connector. The Mira was there, but it was not essential to that hold. They also didn't have anyone in B. So it seems as if the way that B is being held by both of these teams is just around the site itself. It's nothing in the site, no one hard trying to hold it. And wow, now, okay, again, something I did not expect. This is a lobby hold coming from E2. Now, they are the new team on the block. They are trying to introduce their own new stuff to the meta, and I think this is an example of just that. We have seen lobby holds before. It's nothing new or anything like that. However, it's pretty uncommon. Most teams opt to hold garage instead of lobby. And we have seen 2 defense wins, one by each team here so far. So it looks like we're going to be seeing a little bit more of a defensive-sided map. And I'm wondering if Vitality are going to have a read on this particular hold, if they're going to know how to handle this lobby, or if this is going to catch them off guard.
One thing I am concerned about, though, is downstairs in Piano, they reinforced both sides of the doorway into Piano and the 2 large walls inside of the bathroom. But that must have just went up. I didn't see it before. I was going to call out the wall by the drop hatch. I didn't. Maybe I just missed it. Poor lighting or whatnot.
The way they're going to hold Piano, for those of you wondering, is you can see Pulse there. He's playing in a bathroom, right? And he's got that drop down open. So if anybody comes into Piano to try and plant, he simply just has to drop down, pulse them, and C4 from underneath. So he's not playing dedicated to downstairs, which is good because that's where Vitality's pushing. It's very safe that he's doing it that way, but he can go downstairs if he needs to.
Agreed. And so here's Panix getting ready for the bridge communications going, and Lems is going to drone that out first for him before he pushes on forward. But again, this downstairs back push from Yellow Stairs is what it looks like Team Vitality's trying to navigate towards.
And they're applying pressure upstairs as well. It seems like they're trying to cut this map in half and just simply take the west side of the building. And it looks almost as if E2 is going to let them do that. They're not going to try and force anything out. Vitality working their way into the bathroom here, going to try and counter the Pulse position, and it might work for them.
I like this job by Hibana and Sledge, each droning out, saying that, hey, we can actually open this bathroom up, make sure they're not going to stick in there. That will force them out to one side or the other, but Karzeka, all he has to do is just stay put, punch one wall or punch one hole into that door, and he'll have control of that hallway.
They're taking their time here. They don't want to make any huge risk by vaulting in, getting picked off, especially by Karzeka, who's waiting for him.
There it is. All it takes is one look out. Karzeka's looking, and so is Reven. They're not going to turn their back. Panix moves on in. They're waiting for the window shot. Now he sees the bullets going his way. Nakama, you had spotted earlier, is inside of Piano. He was able to drop. He did do so, and Panix is there to get the kill. You still have Mira and Smoke that are upstairs. Looks like Smoke might be working his way down. Panix gets another kill onto Flippy. A 3-on-5 at the moment. Panix working his way. He gets a triple kill onto Razor. The last 2 alive going to be Mira coming down Yellow Stairs, and you've got our Jaeger tucked inside of the offices by Visa. Now Shockwave lands some bullets onto Blackbeard. That's going to down him, but not finish him off. Karzeka moving on forward into the circle stairs, looking his way right there. Panic spotted his gun. Looks like he's going to get his 4th kill of the round. Can he get the ace? It's all up to Mira now. A 1v4 clutch is what's needed. Diffuser has been planted. There's about 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Now Mira's working her way down the Yellow Stairs, I appear. She's still above. She's coming down around, and it looks like Panix gets his ace of the round, taking down Shockwave.
An excellent round by Panix, but moreover, an excellent take by Vitality in of itself. I honestly have to attribute that loss, though, to the Jaeger, who failed to peek the second window, which is where the entirety of Vitality vaulted their way in. He could have easily gotten one or two kills at the minimal on that particular round, but he opted to play a little bit passive, and because of that, his team got collapsed on. He neglected his role.
He did. It was either that he didn't realize the second window was open, or he thought that looking at the second window would expose him to the first window. But in either case,
beside the point,
it's right next to each other.
Right.
You should be able to look and see that.
Yeah, and Vitality, they're going to be defending basement. This is a little bit more atypical what we expect to see. And I'm not sure. I mean, I think it might be the right decision in their case. If they don't have any strats established for the lobby hold, then that makes total sense.
Agreed.
I like the way E2 was trying to hold that lobby. I just want to say I like the way they were trying to do that. Again, I just really feel like Jaeger neglecting to peek that hallway aggressively what ended up costing the round. He may have gotten picked, right? He may have died to the Blackbeard who was holding the angle, right? That's entirely possible. But again, it's beside the point. He neglected his role. His whole role in that instance when they're attacking from that side of the building is to stop them from coming in through the hallway. And because he didn't do that, collapsed on his team. But anyway, moving into this round, they are going to be holding somewhat in lobby. Now, this is kind of interesting, the way that Vitality has set this up. They are giving giving Ravon here a wide berth and a lot of options for rotation to try to try and hold this lobby.
So 2 things to note here. 1, that drone got a lot of information saying what's open, what's closed. 2, this is what I love seeing about Castle. Castle is able to basically turn a map on its side and say, look, no, these are the new avenues that you're going to flow.
Yeah. And on the note of that drone, you could tell how much information they got because he got off of his drone before it even got destroyed. He was like, okay, I know all I need to know now.
Yep.
I'm going to play off of it now. But because they have that player in the bathroom trying to hold that piano, they're wasting a lot of time. There's already 1 minute off the clock, and it doesn't look like the attackers have gotten themselves into the building yet.
And so now what you see over here is actually Ash doing the upside-down rappel, trying to spot down into garage, maybe get rid of the bandit charges so that they can thermite the wall. But Thermite's on his drone at the moment, calling out that Jaeger's going to be in corner office.
It looks like they did get those bandit charges. So Thermite will be able to open up the garage, but even if you get the garage open, it's difficult to push your way into the site without having some dominance upstairs, which means they're going to still have to deal with that Valkyrie.
So they are still thinking that the castle is inside of the bathroom, but he's already navigated out. He's up at the top of yellow stairs. Karzek is now cautious as he pushes on into the Visa office.
Attackers have located a bomb.
But it looks like the garage wall did get opened up successfully, if I heard it blow correctly. Shockwave inside of the main lobby looking towards Reven. Reven, I think, has moved himself back into the bathroom. Shockwave very cautious. Right to his side is going to be Reven. There's the gas grenade. That's going to force Shockwave to back on out. That was actually a good toss from underneath, I think.
Yeah, it came from pipes. That is really excellent teamwork from Vitality. Revon calling out the fact that he's being pushed by a Blackbeard, and Smoke is like, okay, I can help you with that. And it looks like their smokes are trying to go through that wall, but unfortunately the hole was not opened wide enough.
Oh, and there he is. Shockwave pushes in and takes down his counterpart of right there on Valkyrie. But he still has to be wary as above because that is Castle right above him.
And there's only 40 seconds on the clock here. Only 1 man down for the defenders.
And Rise is going to take 1-on-10 to Karzeka. 4-on-4 now. As we say that, Panics will go down by Shockwave. Shockwave's going to move on down, possibly go through the drop hatch after he gets it all cleared. You've got Rise who's inside of pipes. Shockwave spots him and gets the kill. A good shot by him. You've also got Smoke at the bottom of yellow stairs by pipes now. Last gas grenade gets exposed, gets tossed on out. Shockwave, if he drops, might just take 1 bullet to kill him. Enemy picks up Razor. A 3-on-2 at the moment. 10 seconds to go. Shockwave gets another kill into a left and gets the 4th kill onto Enemy. That is a 4K for Shockwave.
An excellent round from Shockwave, certainly. Now, it seems almost as if Whoa, that was nasty shots.
Very nasty shot.
It seemed almost as if the mistake that the defensive team there with Vitality, what they were doing there is they just simply could not stop that Blackbeard from getting that push in. And again, it looked as if those smoke grenades, they were pre-planned, obviously. It just seemed like the wall wasn't opened enough because those smoke grenades intended clearly to land in the hallway outside of bathroom. And you have to wonder if that had happened, if those smoke grenades had landed where they were intended, would Blackbeard have been able to push into that Valkyrie in the bathroom?
I don't think he would have pushed, but at the same time, you say it was planned, but that hole was actually opened up by the attackers. That wasn't there before because you had Buck who came in and tried to light up the wall there. That was a closed wall at the start.
Well, then maybe I'm wrong. I guess no, I am wrong.
No, it could have just been good analysis by Valkyrie, and they're saying, hey, look, you can actually throw that up there. It might not have been pre-planned, but it could have still been planned.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to be seeing an upstairs defense from E2 again. Now, they did, I think they won this round because they had a good placement from the mirrors in the connector and a pulse from underneath. Now, Vitality, the question is, are they going to be able to read that defense? Because, again, it is so easily countered. Take care of the pulse underneath. and then take, propel your Blackbeard onto the connector window, and that strat is kaput. It's done. You can just push into the B site and get your plant down. So are they going to be able to execute that, or are they going to have trouble with it again?
Now I'm curious if Thermite is going to be wary of the previous time they tried to push this site, because he died at the front door early on in the round.
It's interesting to me that they're bringing a Thermite in the first place. This is an upstairs attack. I wonder if they're bringing it for redundancy's sake, for just in case they try and defend basement.
It's very possible. I mean, that's one of the things. If you're going up against a team that you don't know necessarily how they play, you have to play the safest route.
Right.
Because if you guess wrong, your entire strat goes belly up.
And again, as with almost every round so far, the team on defense is attempting to hold piano and bathroom. Now, this is a common theme. Seems like every team is trying to do this, where they attempt to hold piano and bathroom because it's almost like a staging ground for the attack leading into any site.
It is a very, very prominent and important site to hold, or just
Position
to hold, yeah. And so we do see them trying to take control of it, but Paulus was there. Castle had dropped downstairs to the garage, almost a tap onto Flippy's head, but he's behind a non-destructible wall. Shockwave, though, trying to give Reven a little bit food for thought as he makes sure that he doesn't repel in quite yet.
Which is interesting to me. I mean, in theory, you want him to try to repel in because he can't do anything from that window as long as you're there.
Correct.
And we do have, looks like they're going to be actually waiting for that run out this time. A Thermite repelled onto the balcony just in case.
All Kama really has to do is just jump out. He could potentially get 3 kills. If he jumps out the left window there, he can get a Lems, then enemy, and then the Thermite repelled onto the balcony. This is all up to Kama. How is he going to play this? He hits once. Oh, he could pop out here momentarily. He hit the window twice. He's prepping it. He's waiting for the shots. Oh, Lems is there now. He heard the hits. It's just a matter of him waiting. Lems is going to fall, get to a better position, go on over to the corner office. This is going to allow Kama to drop out and get a kill onto the connector window. If he can just spot enemy.
If he decides to do it. If he jumps out that window right now, you're right, he gets 2 kills flat out, but he's just not making that call.
Lems has made his way into the yellow stairs right next to Kama. And you've got Karzeka here on the back of lobby stairs, or sorry, Visa stairs, making his way up. Lems still at the top of yellow. Reven still. Riva is pushing on in, and Rise will get Flippy down. Now we do have Blackbeard inside of the corner office. Reven will get Razor. He's managed to make his way in. Enemy, though, going to take out Kama. And now Karzeka is the last man alive. He's going to get a double kill onto Lems and Rise. It's a 2-on-1 at the moment. Karzeka now moving forward. He's got to watch behind him because that's where Diffuser just went down. But Reven will get the shot through the wall into Karzeka's head and finish him down. Vitality taking round number 5.
Based on the way that Karzeka peeked at, I don't think he realized that mirror was open.
I don't think so either.
If he had realized that mirror was open, he would have ADS through it. But a good round from Vitality, playing it exactly how they needed to, playing around the fact that there are players downstairs and around that mirror, getting rid of it early on, and covering for the run out this time because they understand that it's going to happen. And unfortunately, a little bit of a lack of confidence on E2's part caused Pulse to not run out that piano window, and if he had, again, he would have gotten a double kill easily. After Lems left, he had free reign on dropping out the window. He didn't have to be that particular one. There might have been a claymore on it, but any of the windows, really, he could have run out, even the front door, and gotten an easy kill or 2.
Yeah, I think Kama definitely missed an opportunity there. After he spotted a Lems move on over to the corner office and out to the balcony of garage. If you get 1 kill and you do that, you're still in a good position.
Yeah. I think what was happening in his mind was, okay, I'm the Pulse. I need to stay underneath B to deny the plant, but then he didn't do that. So it ended up not really mattering. It was of no consequence. And now we're going to see 3-2. Vitality looking to put this on a match point on their upstairs hold. How is E2 going to handle this? Because the last time, I think they got a little bit stalled out on the first floor is what happened. And then, Vitality, they also had some people rappelling into offices here. And Vitality just simply picked them off as they were coming in.
Yeah, what we haven't... I mean, we've seen every time someone get up onto yellow stairs, but there really hasn't... It's kind of just been think of it like Clubhouse. You just have someone go down Garage Tunnel or just down Blue Hall. You just have someone there just to lay a little bit of pressure. But I feel like if they put more effort into those yellow stairs, they can either open up bathroom or open up the small sliver into the corner office.
I agree. Maybe applying even some pressure, repel somebody onto bathroom, get somebody into bathroom. That can give you a lot of control, assuming that you can do it successfully, of course.
Yep. All right, so here is Shockwave out on the corner window. Now, no one's going to contest him just yet from the connector.
But we have a run out. It looked like that run out was from the, where was that? That was all the way from Visa. Wow, that was coming out the, looks like he may have run out the window or he simply just walked out the front door. Either way, he got that early pick onto the player on balcony. And that's going to give them a huge advantage leading into this round. Ash is a big factor to get off the board that early on.
Yep. So here we have it, 1:45 to go. Shockwave still in the corner office window. We've got someone, I believe, who's repelled upside down on the connector window. That looked as though it was going to be Kama, but I think he got back up to the roof. He is here. He wants to go opening and open up that mirror window, but for the time being, he's not quite sure on what he needs to do. He's running back and forth. It almost is like there's a breakdown of communication on where to make a push from.
I think the reason for that is because Vitality is playing around their strat so very well.
Yep.
You can see, ooh, a nice pick from Karzeka downstairs onto one of the roamers. That was the bandit who was running out earlier from Visa. But it looks as though Vitality are playing around E2. They're playing around what they know E2 wants to do, which is to get themselves into B. And instead of trying to stop them from getting into B, they are simply waiting for them to get into B. Because when you're in B as an attacker, you're pretty exposed to the rest of the defensive operators. So if they don't lose it, if they don't get picked off as a defensive team early on, they can easily retake B at any moment. And that's their plan.
So now Reven knows there's a Capital on his yellow stairs. He's got to be weary, though, of Kama, who's the Hibana, on the connector window, because he does have a line of sight in the bathroom. But Kama, at the same time, is very cautious of enemy trying to peek on out. And so with that is a gas grenade that got thrown out. Shockwave did manage to get himself in. The C4 throw, though, doesn't explode as Shockwave takes off the head of Reven. A 4-on-3, 20 seconds to go. Enemy still inside of the A site. Now Shockwave looking in towards the doorway. He's not going to be able to navigate through. Hibana does have the diffuser, but she was last seen on that connector window. So Shockwave trying to hold it down. He's got to either rappel in or come up the stairs. Enemy hops on out. Rise will get the shots there onto Kazeka. And there's Flippy who will pick down enemy. Rise will get another kill onto Kama. And that is going to be the round here for Team Vitality, taking round number 6.
Now, unfortunately, they got their attack down eventually, but they just didn't have enough time. And because Jaeger came up from the yellow stairs there to stop that plant, or actually, I think he came straight from reception to stop that plant, it ended up, now Vitality's on match point. They spent too much time dealing with those roamers and then equally so not dealing with those roamers. And they didn't have enough time.
Agreed. I think a lot of that, like you said, came down to time management. I think a little bit of confusion. I think there were conflicting...
Because they're trying to push into B, but they're establishing themselves in a way to get those picks on the players in B or around B, but there's nobody there.
Yeah.
So now, okay, what do we do? Well, there's roamers to deal with as well.
Yeah.
They died to... One person died to a roamer, but then they ended up... They executed their aggression. The Capital got that bandit. So that was a really good thing. That was a good push. They got dealt with one of the roamers. But in the end, again, there's no time.
So it looks as though we will be on match point as well as series point for Team Vitality. They had won the first map on Oregon 6-5. If they win this round, they will take ahead this series 2-0.
Razor and Kama look like they're having a bad match right now. But so are Alem's an enemy, and Alem's one of those players last match, he dropped some major bombs.
Yeah, Alem's had dropped a lot of kills previously, and this time, I mean, granted, you might have different roles on different maps on different bomb sites, and that could be what we're seeing here from Alems, is he's playing more of a support role rather than a fragger role.
Absolutely.
Now we are going to spot Echo. This is, I think, the first time we've seen Echo in this series.
Yeah, it's definitely the first time we've seen. I think it's the first time we've seen Echo like today. Did we see him at all in our last play day? I don't think we did.
I want to say we did. I don't recall off the top of my head though.
He's a pretty rare pick in Pro League, to say the least. He's along the lines of Caveria, not really operators that are commonly picked here. But if it fulfills the role that you're trying to execute, then so be it. And what they're trying to do with him is keep him in the bathroom. He's got that high-powered shotgun, which is a really good one, by the way. He's got 3 armor, and he's got his own little drone to give him information.
We're going to see one little engagement here between enemy and Razor. Almost killed right there through the window way. Now Razor's looking to make sure that Ash is not going to get the peeks she wants. Razor looking for it. He's going to actually prone. He goes for the shots, and he actually gets her. She will fall down without taking a single point of damage off of Razor. However, Bandit on the other side of the map has been injured, down to about, I want to say, 3 health remaining on him.
And that was a good read by Castle to deny that Ash. It's a pretty typical play from Ash there to open up that floor and trying to get rid of the Bandit. And now Vitality, because of that, looks like they're going to be adjusting their attack to take straight up from Visa and from the hallway, or from the back hallway, instead of trying to force their way in through Garage, because now they've got to deal with the fact that they can't debunk that Bandit, or not debunk, but rather get rid of that Bandit.
Now this is where Karzekia needs to start communicating with his team, telling them, look, they're coming from the back, they're pushing down low. Karzekia did have his speed spotted, and it looks like Panic saw it and got him down. Now making it back into man count, they still have over 1/3 of the round left to go. Olems and Panics are going to be pushing on forward, as well as Reven. Now, they have to be cautious. Kama is inside of A, along with Shockwave behind the van. But where are the other 2 defenders? Looks like we're going to have one who's been injured. That is Reven being taken down. Looks like Blackbeard's shield did not hold up all the way. Panics wants to hold onto the angle there, but it looks as though Kama might get him. He gets Reven on the random shot. Olems, though, takes down Shockwave. Panics is over here. He'll go down by Kama as well. Goes with the pistol shot and backs on out. 43 seconds to go. Last one alive is going to be Rise, going up against 3 defenders. That's going to be Echo up top, looking down through some of the holes. He's just been disoriented. Kama comes around and gets his 3rd kill of the round onto Rise.
So it looked like they were trying to distract the defensive operators so that they could then, or so that Vitality could then push in through Garage and get the plant down, and it kind of worked. But unfortunately, they didn't use up enough time of E2, and in the end, Thermite, when he got into the Garage, he was alone. He was like, "Hey, team, where are you guys?" And ended up not being able to clutch it out. That was a nice attempt by Vitality, but the interesting thing for me is, okay, yeah, they've lost the Ash, so they try to adjust. But they didn't need to. Bandit was all the way in Archives. He wasn't banditing the Garage the whole time, so they could have easily just pushed their way into Garage and done a standard take. And in the end, they lost to Jaeger playing a 90-degree angle on a doorway.
I like that Valk cam there. Bust open the window of the black car, throw it into the roof or the hood of the car.
Yeah, that is unfortunate now that it's no longer going to be their little secret.
Won't be their secret. It'll be the community's here tomorrow. But one of the things that I did like about that attack push, now it didn't work out for him, but one of the things I did like was they used Thermite to open up Garage while the rest of their team pushed from the back. So he's that distraction. If Thermite can somehow manage to...
But he wasn't the distraction because he was the guy with the diffuser.
Agreed.
The guys in the back hall were the distraction.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, continue with your point,
No, I was just going to say that with Thermite, if he's able to act like there's more people out there than just him, and if there's not a roamer inside a server like there was, like I think there was Panics there or someone, now you're able to bring your attackers forward. Kind of take a silent takeover of Visa, then in a server, and push in from the back silently while you still have Thermite causing a distraction out front.
I think that would have been a better way to handle it. I think that is a sensible strat and a sensible way to take it. I think the problem was really that their guys coming from Visa, they just got picked off. They lost their engagement straight up, and they tried to challenge Jaeger playing on the bomb in A, and that's really difficult.
It's a very tough angle to push into.
But now we're going to see a pretty heavy roam strat from Vitality. Only 2 people on the site floor, and that means we're going to have again somebody trying to hold that bathroom, and then even a Castle all the way upstairs trying to stall. But he gets picked off by Razor, repelling on that window, ending up not really wasting any time or doing anything at all.
Yeah, and so Shockwave here, as he got. I don't think he got the kill on... Did he get the kill into Castle?
No, that was Ash repelling on the balcony here.
Gotcha. So Razor is still up here on the balcony. He wants to push in. He knows that there's most likely another roamer. That is going to be Jaeger, who's inside of the printer office right now on the other side of admin. Razor's going to spot him out, knows he's there, and guess what? That means Ash has a freebie to push in. So we're just waiting for Razor to push in forward here. Rise holding on to the angle, making sure that if he pushes out towards the stairwell of Visa, he'll be picked off. Razor's still very cautious, though. He's hesitated enough that now Rise has had enough time to navigate somewhere else. Basically, this is as good as he's somewhere on the top floor. That's it. So much
Yeah.
time has gone by.
But unfortunately, Ash isn't taking any of that information and utilizing it because there's only a minute left on the clock, and Jaeger's still alive. He's still upstairs, and Ash is, as such, still on the balcony, only just now getting into the building.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tremendous job. Oh, by
Oh!
Rise as he gets the shot under the drone and then onto Razor. A good job taking down Ash.
It's only a minute left on the clock, and they're still trying to deal with this roamer. I can't help but feel this is the wrong decision. You need to compartmentalize your attack at this point and try to execute into the site. You only have 50 seconds left to go.
Agreed. Rise is doing a fantastic job up here in the admin office as Karzeka is still holding on to him. He knows he's stuck there. He doesn't have any utilities to get rid of the drop hatch, so Karzeka has him locked down. But again, this is keeping Karzeka from helping out his team with the fire arrows, with the smoke arrows, trying to help the plant go in. Flippy's going to have the diffuser, and there he finally goes down. Karzeka can now rush his way down.
28 seconds.
Agreed. Like you said, 28 seconds to go. He can finally start pushing down. Alems is there and gets picked off. This might actually have worked out for E2. 20 seconds to go. They have Valkyrie and Smoke still to go. You're going to have Reven underneath of the yellow stairs. 10 seconds to go. Flashbangs will not hurt him. Enemy's going to get a double kill with a shotgun. Gas out the push from Visa. And now it is all here up to Thermite. He's going to push in. Kama will get one. Can he get the one here on the Raven? It will not happen. And it will be Team Vitality taking this win. And 5-3.
Now you saw there at the end there, Bandit getting a little bit more aggressive than he should have, trying to push up the yellow stairs unnecessarily with 20 seconds left on the clock. But, however, Enemy with a nice double kill on that doorway, and then following it up with a third onto the guy on stairs, managed to lock out the round. Valkyrie just doing what he needs to do, playing it safe, not trying to engage the Thermite. And that was an excellent hold from Vitality, and an excellent map overall from Vitality. They read E2 really well, and they were able to execute.
I think what we